Hello, New Day broadcast audience. I'm here with Vernon Andrews of Morning Star. He is the residential director for the program here, and I'm just delighted to talk with Andrew. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my seat so we can, Vernon, excuse me, so we can go ahead and have this conversation. First of all, Vernon, thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview. This month we are talking about child abuse awareness and child abuse prevention. And Mr. Andrews, as I said before, is the residential director here at Morningstar. Can you tell us a little bit more about that role here?
All right, so thank you first for having me on the show. I really appreciate the invite. I'm the director of residential services here at Morningstar Children and Family Services, which means I oversee the whole campus here.
Okay.
All 3 cottages, as well as the medical department,
Okay.
and some school paraprofessionals as well. So I just pretty much I run the whole campus.
Right.
Right here now at Morningstar, we have 47 residents here on our campus.
Wow.
We have 3 cottages, 2 male cottages and 1 female cottage.
Okay.
And we have 3 supervisors in each cottage. We have a host of staff and upper staff members.
Now, I'm somewhat familiar with the residential program. I actually work in the foster care program, but our audience doesn't know what type of child are we typically seeing in this program. What kind of needs are we seeing?
All right, so our residents, their IQ range anywhere from a 40 to an 80 IQ.
Okay.
Typically, our kids they're really in the middle of that. They're like in the range of maybe like 62 to maybe 72. We can pretty much keep them in that area, but sometimes we do have kids that are at the low end, at the 40. Every once in a while, we'll get a kid that's at the 80, but mainly they stay within that 62 to 72 area as far as IQ. They have dual diagnosis, which means they have a mental disorder and also a learning disability.
Okay.
A lot of our kids, they belong to the state, so they're in our care, but their guardian is the actual state.
Okay.
These kids have been, neglected, sexually abused, physically abused, and a lot of our kids have been in several different placements.
I was going to ask you about that. Okay.
They've been in several different placements throughout the state of Georgia. Some have been in foster care, some have been adopted, and disrupted the adoption.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Others have been in different facilities, So when they come to Morningstar, they come here and we have 3 main components here. We have the residential side, which I'm over the residential side, it's where the kids live, how they interact in the community. We pretty much handle that. But we also have the mental health side.
Okay.
And we have our educational system here as well. So we have a school here on campus.
Wow.
So they come here to get the residential, learn how to behave appropriately, get that close supervision and structure. They get educated here. With our schools, all our teachers are certified through Glenn County to the state of Georgia.
Okay.
And then we also have a mental health clinic where the kids come here and they get better.
Okay.
We have great therapists here at Morningstar. We can't do one without the other.
Wow. Now, you said something about them being in different placements, different homes, and I hate to use this term, but it's what came to mind. Is this like a last resort for them as far as placement and having a stable environment? And if so, why is that? What is it that they're not able to do in the community that needs them to have to be in a residential treatment facility?
Okay. Now, as far as the last resort, I don't want to say that because as long as the child is a certain age, the state of Georgia is required to have some type of home for them, some type of setting. But a lot of our kids, like I said, they have disrupted so many other places, so they can never go back to those places that they disrupted. Like they were adopted before or in a foster home, and their behaviors were too aggressive, and they needed more structure, so they had to come to a place like Morningstar. So here at Morningstar, we provide that structure and also that supervision. A lot of times the kids were in a good home, that people that loved them, but their behaviors became too much for the parents to handle. So a lot of times the parents will, reach out for help. And there are some programs, in the community that come into a home to give parents help, but a lot of times the kids need a little bit more structure.
Right.
And I don't want any kid to come here and be here for years and years.
Exactly. I was going to ask you.
But that does happen. We would like to see a child come here, and make progress on their permanency plans. Because every time you come into care and defects, you have a permanency plan, you have goals. So we try to get them here, and we join right into that plan that's set by the state, the defects worker. Our plans here go right hand in hand with that plan to help them reach their goals to get them back into the community with structure.
And I know there have been a lot of success stories about children who have come here and transitioned into the community. What are some of the type of interventions that you have here at Morningstar to help those children make that better or healthier transition?
Okay, so what we do here is you come in, we like I said, we establish goals for you. You have every child comes in, they set their own goals. They're involved in the plan. That's the most
awesome.
important thing.
That's really important.
That we don't come here and say, hey, you're gonna do this and that. No, we come in and we're gonna help you get to your goals.
Right.
So we have a process where we establish the goals. We look at the goals on a monthly basis to see if the child is making progress. During that time here, as they continue to meet their goal, there are more and more activities where a child can go into the community, learn how to interact socially appropriately.
Right.
Also, we help them understand their medication, which is very important in their progress.
Because they have to do that once they leave.
Yes, with getting their medication under control. We have a doctor comes out every week to talk to kids on a rotation about their medication, and we find better medication for them. And the kid, they're involved in all of that. We don't just put them on a medication. They're involved. The doctor asks them, hey, do you want to try this new medicine? And of course, we still have to get approval from their legal guardian.
Of course, yeah.
Now, here in One Star, some of our kids can slowly be brought back into the community. Once you start showing that you're safe, you're making progress, there's all different types of outings that you can go to. Different things you can participate in. I mean, we had kids that we signed up to play football in Brunswick High.
Wow.
If you were doing that well, we like, if the coach wants you to play and you can play, sign you in for football.
Exactly.
We had kids participate in all kind of different extracurricular activities, and as an option to go off campus to off campus school. I mean, we have kids that are here on our self-contained campus, but if you're doing well, and the goal is to get you back into the community, we'll let you go and try some classes at GICA or at Brunswick High. Right. Or sometimes we went to Needwood as well. So we just give them the support and the structure to help them be successful. It's about making those healthy choices, and teaching them that, hey, I can choose good over bad,
And the state is moving towards that too, more normalcy for the children, normalcy for them to be able to make those decisions and interact with the community, because once they leave here, they have to be able to do that. They have to at least be more prepared to do that. So it sounds like you all are doing an excellent work here at Morningstar, and I appreciate being a part of the team. But I want to know a little bit about you, Mr. Andrews. Tell me a little bit about what led you in this area of working with child welfare. How's your career led you to this point?
All right, so it's funny. My story may be different from others, but it may not. Originally, I had planned on being a lawyer. I actually did a year of law school. Nobody knows that. I just don't know it now.
They don't know it now.
But I decided, other things happened in my life. I said, well, I don't want to be a lawyer. So then I said, well, I'm gonna go back to school, get my master's. I got my master's with a concentration in nonprofit, because my goal is to one day have my own nonprofit. Now, as far as working in this field, actually, my first job out of college, undergrad college, first full-time job was actually in a mental health facility. It was at Gateway. I worked in the CNA day treatment for the kids. We picked them up after school, and they stayed there for like 3 hours and took them home by like 6 o'clock. That was my first real job out of college. I enjoyed working with kids. I always had a passion to work with children.
I was going to ask you, is your passion?
So I did that, but I did go back to school, got my master's, and then I decided, well, I moved back to Brunswick. In Brunswick, opportunities are kind of limited. You don't have the big city where you have different job offers here and there. So, okay, what am I playing with? So I love working with children. Right. So my first job I got, when I came back, I got another job with Morningstar. Started off working in the college as a college supervisor. Did that for a while. And then I said, well, I'm going to try something else. Right. And then I said, I'm going to go teach school. So I went and taught school in Glenn County for a few years. I taught, first job was at alternative school. I did that for a year.
So you've been drawn to children with challenges.
Yeah, I did that for a year. Taught at Glenn Academy for a year. Yeah. Then I taught at Job Corps for 2 years. Yeah. Then I found myself back at Morningstar. I came back in the same position I had before as a college supervisor. Things happened. When some opportunities came available, then I was promoted up to Director of Residential Services. So that's why I'm here. I mean, I have a passion for working with young people.
You definitely have to have that in this field. So what has been some of the challenges you faced working with this population?
Well, with this population, just trying to get some stability, because that's one of the main goals of permanency. Our kids are, at times, they're difficult to work with. So, but I will say the challenges with the kids are different, because we know what to expect with children. So that's not really the big issue. The challenges that I have as a director is my staffing. In this field, anywhere across Georgia or North Carolina, I went to a training in North Carolina, they have the same challenges that we have, is adequate staffing. People who work in this field have to really want to help someone, help children, because it's not the most high-paying job that you can find.
Right, that's good.
So that's one of my most challenges, is finding the adequate and well-trained staffing.
Okay.
That I deal with. The kids are the kids. I mean, they're gonna have trouble and they're gonna have problems, but that's what we're here for. That's not really a challenge that I really look at on a day-to-day basis, but that staffing is always an issue.
And as far as the challenges with the children, how do you kind of turn it off when you go home and you have to relate to your own family, or are you able to do that?
Well, honestly, I'm a lot more therapeutic when I'm at work. I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old at home. And some of the things that I do at home, I would never do here, because, these are kids that already been traumatized, and, they're not my own, even though I love them, they're not my own birth children.
Right.
I only have them for a time. I got my kids, and, for a while. So I'm a lot more therapeutic at work than I am at home. I'm a little bit more nonsense at home.
Right.
Here, I'm always calm. I never yell, and I'm always equally balanced. You have to be. I never get too high or too low, because you couldn't work in this profession and you get too high over something or too low. I stay kind of in the middle.
Okay, and I have witnessed that actually.
But I do understand that you can burn out working in this field, when I used to work in the cottage. And even sometimes in my role, you can burn out, because I'm over all the cottages. But we have to work together as a team,
Right.
And I just say, you have to be fair to your family. Don't take your job home.
Right.
Don't take it all on your kids. Have a stressful day, take some time to yourself.
Right.
Go work out at the gym, go walk and do something before you go home.
Yeah, the woosah.
But I'm more therapeutic here at work. At home, I'm a little bit more no nonsense, at home.
Okay. And what has been your rewarding experiences in this care? Your most rewarding experiences in this care?
Well, we have some kids that they come here and like their life is just broken. They've been
And explain to our audience, you about to say.
They've been physically abused. They've been neglected. They've been sexually abused. They've been exploited. They come here. They're jumping around from placement to placement. Even in some placements, they have been neglected. So I get enjoyment bringing these kids in, showing them that, hey, you can trust somebody in your life, because that trust has been shattered too along with their life. So building those healthy relationships, being a role model.
That's very good.
Seeing kids that came in here that nobody thought they would make it.
Right.
When kids come in, sometimes it's rough. When kids first get, they're coming straight from a hospital. So seeing them make progress, seeing them get better, making better choices, and then seeing them graduate.
That's good.
Going home with their families or finding a more suitable placement for them that's more permanent for them. That gives me joy. And we've had a lot of success here at Morningstar.
Well, that's good. That's awesome. And turning our wheels a little bit to child abuse prevention and awareness, what do you say to just the regular Joe in the community? How can people in the community not only partner with Morningstar or agencies like Morningstar, but just be more aware of what's going on in the community? How can we help prevent child abuse?
Well, I do a training, and I tell everybody that child abuse, sexual abuse, it does not discriminate. Meaning that it's involved in every community, no matter what color you are, no matter how much money you have, whether or not you went to college or just finished high school. It's out there. Everybody's going to be affected by it some kind of way. So you can't hide from it. You have to educate yourself on it. You have to be able to look for it.
Look for the signs. What are some of the signs of child abuse?
Well, the kids that are acting up in school. That's one sign. Not always. Some kids just act up until they get more mature, but a lot of times kids that run away from home, kids that are involved in sexual activity at an early age, kids that are very aggressive. I mean, a lot of that has to deal with child abuse, or anything that may be going on inappropriate in the home. So just being aware of those kind of things, just knowing that it can happen to anybody, it can happen to people in your own family. And how can you help? Just make yourself aware of that, and if, like we're mandated reporters here in Morningstar. Anybody that works in this field, you're a mandated reporter, which means that if you see something, whether it's at work or not, by law, with your position, you have to report that. What you see, and just not being afraid to report something that you see.
And that's what I was going to say. What do you say to that person? Say, well, it's not my business. What if I'm wrong? What do you say to a person like that? Because I know that even me being a mandated reporter, I've heard screams through my wall sometimes, and I'm sitting there waking up at night thinking, well, what do I do with this situation? Do I call the police? Because it could just be, a parent parenting, or it could be abuse. And I found myself knocking on the wall to let you know I hear you, but what do you tell the person who's not the mandated reporter, who doesn't know all of these things behind it, how do you encourage them to get involved?
I just say, think about it. If it were your child, what would you want somebody to do for your child? If your child was being physically abused by someone else, even if it wasn't yourself, you want somebody to report that.
Right.
If you trust your child to go stay the night at somebody else's home, and something happens in their home that you may not be aware of, you will want somebody to report that.
Right.
That's how we have to look at it if it were our own children. As far as parenting, you have to be careful on that because you don't want to make any false claims. But a good thing about making a report is it's anonymous. And they're going to come out and they're going to investigate that claim. And if it's not true, they're not going to do anything.
Right.
You know, and the family will never know you made that report. And they're not going to take anyone's children unless they can see that there's a safety risk. Right. So they're going to come and they're going to investigate and find out what's going on. And nothing wrong with that if you're trying to do it in good faith. Right.
Because I've heard that so many times. There's this little myth that goes around that defects just want to take people's children. Can you speak to that a little bit, just so our audience can know that? I've been in this field since 1998, and I always say this. In all seriousness, I've probably worked with hundreds of families, and I can think about 5 families, maybe 5, if that many, that I thought, well, these children should have came in with care. Other than that, all the other ones were, in my opinion, my professional opinion, justified in coming to care. So when people say stuff like defects just want to take people's children, how do you speak to that? Because I think that's a myth and an issue in certain communities.
Well, I'll say this is not true.
Right.
DFACS has enough kids right now, more than they can handle.
Right.
They would like to keep the children in the home. That's always the goal.
Right.
The goal of DFACS itself is to get the child back with the parent if it's safe.
Yeah.
Or with a close kin. That's the primary goal of all DFACS throughout the state of Georgia, to get the child back in the home or get them to a close family member. Now, they even have preservation meetings about trying to preserve a child in a home. Like if issues come up, they have a committee, which is you can get yourself on a plan to help the child stay in the home and provide assistance for that child. So they don't want to take the kid, but if a child is unsafe, that's their job to come in and remove that child from that environment, because the child deserves to be safe.
And I know you've probably experienced in your career, my career, by experience where I met the family later, not just the child, but the mom and dad too. And they said, we were angry when you made that call or you made that decision, because in my case I was mandated and they knew I made it. But they said, thank you. I mean, I saw a family in a parking lot and I thought, oh, they're going to beat me up because they see me in this parking lot. But they said, thank you, because we were messed up and we needed that intervention, and their family was all together, husband and wife included. And so, just to speak to that a little bit as we talk about child abuse and child prevention, how important do you think it is, Mr. Andrews, about people reporting, stepping in, being involved?
It's very important. I mean, because at the end of the day, the child suffers, the family suffers. And like you said, that family, thank you for helping them, but they needed that help. Sometimes a family is at their wits' end, can't handle that behavior. And a lot of times when a kid is acting up, they become very vulnerable to being abused, because they're acting up in the family like, I can't control this child, so they want to pick up a belt. They want to throw something at the child, they want to do something to the child, but we learn that does not help the situation, it makes it worse. So that's what we do, we help. You stepped in and you helped, and the family was grateful. A lot of times families won't admit that they need help, but when they get the help and they get the family back together, that's the goal.
Right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate sitting down, having this conversation with you about child abuse prevention and awareness. And like I always ask, what would you like to leave our audience with, like final thoughts or just something that's near to your heart that you would like to leave them with as it relates to child abuse prevention and awareness?
Like I said earlier, I mean, this is a problem that does not discriminate. Every community it has child abuse. Every ethnic group, religion. I mean, it doesn't go away. We have to address the problem. We can't hide from it. People need to be made aware of it. I mean, we need to have things going on that people, like we have this month, Child Abuse Prevention Month.
That's a good point.
We have to do it every month. Always be aware of child abuse, because it's in your community, and the kids deserve a bright future, and they deserve to get better, deserve a loving home. And like I said earlier, the goal is to keep them in the home, not to take them out of the home. But that would be my final thought on that.
Awesome. Again, I thank Mr. Andrews for having this conversation with me, and I'm just encouraging us all to get involved, and to be a light, be a hope. I always say with every new day there remains hope. That's the reason why we highlight these issues. That's the reason why we talk about it, not to overwhelm people. And it may seem overwhelming at times. I don't take anything away from my career, and I'm sure Mr. Andrews doesn't either. Maybe we didn't help every child, but if we just help one, if we help just one family in our span of career, that's still very important. And we can probably attest between the both of us that we've helped hundreds of families. And so it's very important that we as a community stay involved. And I love what you said, that it's not just April that we become aware about child abuse, or we become involved or engaged with child abuse awareness and prevention, but every day, every month, every week, it should be something that's on the forefront of our mind. So thank you again, Mr. Andrews.
Well, thank you for
I
having me.
appreciate your time. And New Day audience, again, with every new day, there still remains hope.